Hi, readers. I want to invite you to come along with me as we go through and do a gigantic investigation with some nonfiction text. You see, friends, as we start reading nonfiction text, the texts are going to start to get more complicated and get harder and harder and harder. And so as a reader, as a nonfiction reader, you're going to have to learn how your reading needs are going to need to change now that you're starting to read more complex text. You see, it's kind of like playing a video game, right? As you move up in levels, the challenges get more and more complicated. And the strategies and skills that you need to get past those harder levels tend to be a lot more complicated than when you first started playing a video game. So I think you're going to find that when you're reading complex nonfiction in this unit, that every part of the reading process is just a little bit different than when you were reading more simple nonfiction, straightforward text. Starting with even the way that you orient and preview the text prior to beginning to read it. So readers, today I want to teach you that when readers orient themselves to complex text, they use text features and they use their knowledge of the topic to help them. But also, as you begin reading, you also need to understand that sometimes the focus of the text might be revealed more slowly than what you are used to. You see, friends, this work is not going to be easy because a lot of the nonfiction text, the simple nonfiction text that you were used to reading, kind of told you exactly what the text was about. But nonfiction, complex text are not so simple. You're going to need new skills and new strategies in order to tackle those tricky parts. All right, friends. So here's the cover of the text that we're going to be reading in this unit. Take a look at that cover. Right? I don't know about you, but my lunch has never fought back. So when I read that title, When Lunch Fights Back, that really kind of caught my attention. And I really don't understand what the title means, but lucky for us, if we look closely, we see that there's a subtitle, right? A subtitle is a title that comes under the main title. And we see that the subtitle says, Wickedly Clever Animal Defenses. So perhaps that's a clue. Perhaps this book is going to be about teaching predators how to fight back, right? So that they don't become lunch. Well, in addition to the title and the subtitle, we can also turn the book over and we can look at the back cover. And we can read this back cover to see if it gives us any more clues or information in order to help us figure out what this book is about. As I'm reading the back of this cover, I want you to think, and I want you to be able to put up some fingers. And if you can think about what topics you might think is we're going to learn about in this book. Newts that can pop their rib bones right through their skin. Termites that can carry poison-filled backpacks. Lizards that can shoot blood from their eyes. Some animals are good at self-defense. These animals are amazing, so watch out. So it definitely seems from reading the back of the book that this book is going to teach us something about defenses. I'm thinking it's going to teach us about the best animal defenses since they says that these animals are amazing and they're good at self-defense. I'm not certain yet who the animals are defending themselves from. Is the watch out kind of a warning for us or for other predators? All right, let's see if we can figure out a little bit more about the topic by now orienting ourselves by opening up the book and looking at the title page. All right, let's see if the things that you predicted as I read the back cover are any of the chapter titles. All right, let's take a look at these chapter titles. We have an introduction called The Challenge of Survival. Then chapter 1, Slip Sliming Away, Concealed Weapons, Toxic Bubbles, Master Blasters, Knockout Punch, Here's Blood in Your Eye, Of Bullies and Bait, Meet My Bodyguards. I don't know about you, but these chapter titles are really tricky too. Remember in the chapter titles used to tell us clearly what each section of the text was going to be about? Like might maybe say like, food, shelter, habitat. These chapter titles are really tricky. I mean, chapter 1 is clear, the challenge of survival. That section might teach us how difficult it is for animals to survive and all the problems that they face. But some of the other ones really puzzle me. Slip sliming away, concealed weapons, toxic bubbles. What do you think they could be teaching here? I mean, maybe they're about the different ways animals defend themselves. So perhaps maybe there's going to be some problems and solutions that animals are going to face. Maybe the slip sliming away chapter 1, could teach about how one animal uses maybe slime to slip away and escape its predator. So maybe this book is going to give us a problem first, and then it's going to give us a solution, which is going to come next. All right, readers, do you see how even before we read any of the text, we kind of orient ourselves to the text? It's important that you do that same work as a reader. You look at the cover, you look at the back page, you open up and you see if it has a table of contents. And you're going to need to do this with the text that you're going to be reading too. And you're probably going to find that the titles and the headings and the subtitles and even the table of contents aren't going to be as clear as you are used to them being. So friends, after you've previewed your book, now it's time to dive in. But I want to give you a little tip. Remember, this text and a text that you're going to be reading, they are complex. So there's going to be many times when you look and go, huh? And I want you to keep those questions in mind. And I want you to take an opportunity to look at all the headings and the pictures and the text features and the bold print, and keep all of that in mind as you ask yourself, what is this text going to be about? So take a look here. We have like this introduction, the challenge of survival. We have this, look at this illustration here. Wow, that is a scary illustration there. All right, now let's read it. No one said living on planet Exxon would be easy. Hungry aliens are everywhere. A new group just slithered into view. The aliens are well armed with lasers and a contraption that shoots out nets for capturing prey. The prey, of course, is you. So friends, even though there's a lot of text features on this page and the title's really exciting, and even just reading that introductory paragraph, it doesn't really help us to figure out what that text is about. And that is okay. That's what makes challenging nonfiction text more exciting to read. And we're going to have to read more and learn new strategies in order to be able to figure out exactly what this text is trying to tell us. All right, friends. It's time for you to go get started reading your text that you have with you today. So I want you to pull out your books and I want you to start orienting yourself to your own text. Look at the front cover, look at the back cover. See if you can kind of anticipate using your fingers about how you think this book might go, right? Think about what the author might want to be teaching you and how the author is going to teach you. And then see if you can try to name the sections that are going to be part of your nonfiction book. Remember to orient yourself to the inside of your book too. So as you expect and know that your book is going to be complex, you're going to want to ask yourself, do the chapters in the table of contents help, or are they misleading? You're likely going to be in this confusing area. And remember, you're going to celebrate that. So readers, you're ready. Make a plan to orient yourself to your new exciting nonfiction text. Off you go.